will anyway, which is not a bad idea. But I don't think Crit is going to go in that direction. I think he's made his mistake once. He's realized that mistake, and that's that.
Are you trying to jinx him?
What
did Crit ever do to you?
The caster curse is always real, and
well,
Crit's killed me in
not
Mafia
always
or
real,
something.
but you're trying your best to make it real. Okay,
Listen,
just relax.
It's his Mafia play
it's okay.
that I can't handle.
It's okay if Alliance loses the game. TI will go on.
May very well.
But not yet, because someone's
There's
mouse
more
is now
issues.
broken. Mic issues, mouse issues, sound issues.
Everyone's having trouble.
But beautiful Dota awaits us on the other side.
You know, we had that first great series with LGD and OG, and I was waiting to see what this series would bring. And it's unfortunate the Drow pick comes out, and it just kind of made it so Alliance, they didn't have an answer to it. But this draft is a bit better. For OG, I still think they have the edge here in terms of just... I mean, they're favorites, right? They're not the underdogs in this situation. They have
OG are 100% favorites coming into the series, and especially after the way Game 1 went. I like their draft better. I think Dazzle is going to have a hard time being impactful. I feel like the Pugna doesn't have that much synergy with their team, but it is an unexpected pick, and sometimes that can make a huge difference. And Pugna, I also think, really struggles against Riki and Tiny with the burst damage in the cloud. But let's see how the lanes develop, and like you said, Enchantress will be the key for the team here. Ake has single-handedly won many a game for his squad in the past.
It could happen again. We'll wait and see. He currently has dropped already that one sentry, another on him, and they're going to contest the bottom rune. Seems that OG know this, the HUD top. Bulldog will get zoned out by No Tail running in. He's got the Riptide. Not skilled up yet, but imagine that'll be what he goes for first, and it looks like it's just a clean start to this game. Alliance kind of dodging any sort of aggressive duel or tri-lane coming out now.
So unusual from OG.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as soon as you see Keeper of the Light, you think they're going to do some sort of unusual aggressive duel or tri-lane, which they are doing. Tiny solo mid, a little bit uncommon. Then the trump card is the safe lane Riki, a Iron Talon jungle axe. So OG basically saying, you guys can do your aggressive tri-lane with the Pugna. I'm just going to soak experience on the crit Riki. If he dies, doesn't matter. Riki's only here for the smoke cloud and the vision anyway. If not, he gets a bunch of free experience. But Ake looks to put a stop to that very early.
It's just
as he moves into the OG jungle.
It's just mega greed right now from OG to have Moon. I think it's not as greedy because Crit is down here. Usually, if it was another hero that didn't have Invis or wasn't scattered out as easily, then it might be different. But
they have a pack of dust already. They might be able to kill him.
Yeah, I mean they see him now. He went up for a last hit. They have, like you said, dust on EGM, but
not yet. But there's kill potential. Again, like killing Riki is not a game-winning move or a lane-winning move by any means for Alliance. So the bigger question will be how these other two lanes go for me. Or three lanes, I guess, including the jungle. Will the Axe get shut down, or will Ake look at him going mid? Find that opening for Miracle. A parade of shard golems.
Boulders. Miracle's going to take two, and actually will be able to avalanche, but a couple more right clicks and a jump up from S4 will try to get the kill. Jukes through the trees. They will find him. It is first blood. It was a good effort from Miracle, but Aki comes through with 3 mud golems, well, 1 and 2 shard golems, but the Herald Boulders do 150 damage.
Those
125.
They do enough to make Miracle unhappy.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just funny watching the golem slowly corner him. And the good news is for Ake, these stuns have a low cooldown. They're ready to go again, Mott. He's coming back in.
And there's another boulder. And another one. And another one. 3 125 damage boulders coming in, but the TP is from Moon, and Miracle will stay alive. Ake will make it away with the rest of his mud golems intact, and that'll be the end of it, it looks like.
That's some cheeky play by him. The TP forced out from Moon, but he was heading back to the jungle anyway. They get 1 kill on Miracle. As far as CS goes, he is struggling a bit, but so too is the Mirana. So neither hero is CSing particularly well. Naga is farming well, and Pugna is farming well. But I think the concern for me is that Moon is just doing Iron Talon jungle things, being unchecked for now. Mid lane, though, again the pickoff. These golems are a real plague.
I mean, it's just early on in this game, this is when they're the most effective. 125 is, again, no joke. And that's for...
I remember Ake at the last Star Ladder in Kiev was, like him and Lodo were ranting about how broken the Satyr was. And then, mind you, this is from a jungle player, but it seems like maybe the Golem's the new one to take advantage of with the mana nerf to the Satyr.
There's plenty of good different units to get. Not even just like the Satyr or the Mud Golems. Like, we've seen the Harpy being annoying, and everyone's like, that's Imba. So there's plenty of different units given the situation that could be annoying and a nuisance. S4 still now with that kill up to 13 CS, and Miracle having one of the rougher times that we've seen him have in Dota. Honestly, this is not a great lane for him, whereas the last couple of games we've seen him really just crush it.
Oh, Loda, that was a close call. Crit almost able to deny the tower bottom. Normally it's just impossible because you blast when it's like before it's even before a hero can even destroy the tower with a right click for a deny, but does end up getting the last hit there, so it works out okay. Pressure now moves on towards the mid lane with the Tornado this time harassing Miracle.
See,
Miracle is pretty miserable at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is not great. This is exactly what Alliance... They got a tower already. They've killed Miracle once, almost twice, really. The thing is, top lane could be going better for Bulldog, but it's not that bad. He's still getting good CS.
If OG are really worried about losing more towers, they can just move the Keeper of the Light around. Now, that's where the Enchantress can look to answer back, find a gank. But keep in mind, Crit is getting free experience in this lane, and already OG still staying close as far as experience goes, but they are falling behind on gold, so they will be forced to make the move with Fly. And that frees up this top lane in turn for Bulldog.
Yeah, and there still is going to be creep cutting with No Tail, which is actually pretty fantastic. He's able to get all of the CS, keep pressure on that tower, but Bulldog with Anger Smash should be able to deal with this relatively easily. Ake's rotated down towards the bottom jungle. He's got the Satyr, he's got the Centaur Conqueror, looking for a wraparound. Moon has not seen the light of day this entire time, this first 5 minutes of Dota.
He's got an Iron Talon. Everything will be fine. Guys, just believe in the Talon.
It's probably...
Until he finds the trap.
I keep talking about like the best items of the game, and like Winter and I always talk about Raindrop and Windlace, but Iron Talon is also pretty ridiculous, so I don't know. They're all pretty good, to be honest.
Yes, all items are pretty good. I agree.
Except Vanguard. No, I don't know.
Hey, Vanguard's a lot better than it used to be.
Than it used to be, yeah, that's true. But I've had a conversation with a couple
Don't let
people.
Ben Wu get in your head.
It's not even him, it's other people
His
too.
insidious anti-Vanguard agenda, but in the jungle, Crit's gonna get caught out. Dust is there, he blinks out. The invasion continues as Alliance look to just choke out OG, take over their woods. No Tail getting a lot of farm and experience up in this top lane. 42 CS already. Thing is for Alliance, if they don't slow down the Naga and she gets a Radiance and they haven't taken, I would say all tier 1s and ideally at least 1 or 2 tier 2s, Naga is going to make it very difficult to push. Pugna can deal with Naga illusions because if he gets an Aghanim Scepter, it has 0 cooldown and will instantly kill them with the life drain.
Right.
We've seen, I think it was Titan who did that like 2 years ago. So I would say Pugna is a Naga counter with the right amount of farm, but gonna take a while before Loda has it, and still the Pugna can't necessarily be everywhere the way a Naga can.
That and Ag's Moran, I think, is also pretty good as well.
I think they have pretty good Naga solutions, but it's all about timings, right? Like,
you don't want to get there to that point. First of all, you already have the top 2, almost top 3 in net worth, and you have ways to push down towers with Ake as well as Loda coming in for this bottom tier 2. I would imagine, like you said, they take down a couple of tier 1s, or all the tier 1s, and at least 1 or 2 tier 2s, like you said, and they're trying to do that bottom. Crit's here, but Fly, he's the one that needs to be there to be able to kill the creep wave, and that's not really going to happen. He's actually dead right now looking for an Illuminate.
Yeah, trying to set up a backstab on old S4, but Crit already level 6 at 7 minutes, so Riki getting experience. Buys the phase boots. Looks like Crit wants to play more of a
He's carrying
an active, carry role. And there's a lot of squishy targets for Riki this game. Pugna, if you get a Diffusal Blade, is just food. Dazzle's a pretty easy kill with sufficient farm, and I think what we're going to see is as soon as Moon gets his basic items out, Blink Dagger, maybe a Vanguard, he's just going to be constantly ganking, and there will be a little more room for heroes like the Riki, but not there yet. Fly just parked bottom lane, trying to keep the pushback. Something we haven't talked too much about is Bulldog here, Mott. He's working towards a mech. This is an important part of their 5-man. You want to just sit behind the Pugna, be ready with the Ravage to counter-initiate. The one thing that can counter the Ravage, though, is the smoke cloud. That is not something you can crack it off, so if it's well placed by Crit, it could shut down that push.
I mean, that's going to have to be Crit in the team fight, hopefully. He only has level 1 smoke screen, so the radius is very small. Not to mention level 1 blink strike, so the cooldown's longer as well. It's not going to be easy for him to be able to find that until he gets a little bit more levels. But like you said, the mech is super important. I thought they might have gotten it on the Pugna, which is a pretty common choice, but he might go for something like Drum or Veil, or save it for the Aghanim Scepter.
The problem is if you go for mech on Pugna, his base HP is so low that he can just get burst by, like, you get avalanche tossed, you're just dead.
Yep.
So I think it's better to build up tide.
Speaking of Miracle, he's still not having that great of a game. He's still only 27 last hits. S4 has been staying mid this entire time. He's not giving Miracle a free lunch. In fact, they dropped down another ward, and they're going to look towards this tier 1 mid. They're like, okay, we've spent like maybe 5 minutes bottom. It's not been really successful. Let's try to find something else. The top lane TB, Ravage is going to go, no tail caught. The arrow's going to come through as well. That'll be a long enough stun to get this kill. And it's going to be S4 picking it up, even using the haste rune to do so.
It was a cool rotation. Loda, he comes mid, he plants his nether ward down like a flag, just announcing Alliance's intentions to push mid. Then Mirana goes top and ganks, which is generally not what you would expect. So a good combo there, and Alliance will transition off of it into a push. No Song of the Siren yet skilled on the Naga, so it might be a little tough to set up for a call here. As Moon also acts the blink, Miracle getting a little zapped. The siege continues.
If OG can...
Keeper of the Light is the key to shutting this down. And he completely missed everything.
That was not... It's alright, he can just keep Chakra. He's got plenty of chances here. They just need to get more time. Like, Miracle needs an extra bit of time because he was shut down so much, but Moon just needs like maybe 3 to 4 more minutes before he can get that blink dagger. And then they might be in a good position. Still top 3 going the way of Alliance. There's a good Illuminate coming out. And this is the problem for Alliance. They just can't push in with AoE creeps.
Running a push strat against the Keeper of the Light. Gonna be a long siege.
Flies like XD. Let me just keep throwing this Illuminate out and we'll see what you guys can do. Alliance are...
With the mech here, they can, if it's timed right, potentially sustain this one.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, like...
They can also just let the Tide tank the tower a bit, so I definitely think they can take this. There's the mech pop.
Yeah, you're right.
And
they
with
have to
that,
let it go now.
tower is going to go down.
This time they will get it. No need for the Nether Blast to come through, and arrows coming out.
They need this Axe Blink. He cannot afford to die now. There's still a ways to go until No-Tail will get a rally with that death top. It really does set him back. Blink Insight on Miracle. He's not going to be the tempo controller. Riki can only chase heroes down that are already low. He will not be single-handedly starting and winning fights for the team. So Moon, that Iron Talon AFK jungle play, going to be up to him to slow the game down and get OG back in this.
You have to keep the pressure up for Alliance, but right now they have to go back and heal. They have to get their items, which is a lot for the Dazzle. You have to make sure bottom and top are pushed out, which currently is what Miracle is doing in that top lane, is just trying to find at least some pressure on that tower, but Loda has rotated up, and down bottom, Naga was doing the same to that bottom tier 1 tower, so they have to push these towers out and go again, but yeah, that's the thing. You kind of have to divvy yourself up in weird spots as Alliance and OG, and Miracle will find EGM, but no, that's not enough to do
It's not even a max avalanche, unfortunately.
Did he get the combo off? I think it was kind of close.
Yeah, he got the combo, but it's only a level 3 avalanche. And it does double the damage if you time it perfectly. It does the damage twice during the toss, so not enough to get the kill. Also Dazzle, just pretty high level 7 at 11 minutes now. So with raindrops picked up, that's the one item that, you know, I've talked a bit about it just with other people here, but I personally feel like raindrops just have made Tiny a very difficult hero to play right now.
Yeah.
Like, you're so reliant on bursting heroes with the avalanche toss combo, and raindrops are guaranteed going to prevent you from just solo killing most heroes in the game unless you're really far ahead. And you already see raindrops picked up on S4. They're getting extra HP items on everyone because Alliance are taking early towers. They have additional gold to work with. Loda with raindrops. AGM with raindrops. Tiny will not be comboing anyone, especially not from a deficit, which is where Miracle sits now. So don't expect him to have a big impact unless the team sets him up for success.
Well, they have that Blink Dagger now for Moon, and you talked about how much they needed that. That's like the first big component, but Alliance is smoking up. They're walking in, they're looking for
Crit is there to reveal it.
Yeah, and the sentry's down.
Little bugger.
They had the dust on him, but they had no vision to get him. They'll drop the ward now. That might have seen Crit. In fact, they do spot him out, but they know they can't chase him down.
I honestly feel like Crit might have the highest, like, smoke breaking percentage any player at this event.
That is a stat that I do not know.
I mean, he plays a lot of Riki, and Riki's probably one of the best heroes to do it with, but I honestly feel like every time I see him on Riki, he breaks at least 1 or 2 key smokes a game. Even if he dies, he at least breaks it, and often he just gets out and nobody dies.
It's just the positioning.
That's just ridiculous. Mid lane, Miracle has the haste room, but Alliance looking to chase him.
They were thinking about Ravage for a moment there, maybe, but it's not worth it for Miracle, I don't think. Crit, though, if they had a Sentry in detection, That would have been a nice kill. And what does Crit have right now? Phase, 700 gold, Poor Man's Shield. I don't think he's anything else in the Courier or at base, so he leached a lot of experience early game. He's still doing pretty well, but he's actually below Miracle right now.
They're looking for Fly, double damage run on S4. He's gonna drop fast.
Wow.
And that's actually huge for Alliance. Creeps are coming in. They don't have Illuminate for this next wave to blow it up.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Already
attack.
the top tower. Actually, Creeps are there, so I think Alliance just rotate top and go for that tier 2.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. Loda's going to walk in. He has the point booster. He went with the early bracer, I think, just casually. The point booster now might be turned into any one of a number of things, but it looks like it'll be an Ags as he's picked up the Staff of Wizardry. And they'll be successful in taking this tier 2 tower. Glyph's available, and they might use it, but I don't...
Radiant structures are fortified.
It's not going to be enough to stop the push.
Radiant's top tower is under
When does that Radiance come online? That's the big question. Notel getting a perhaps crucial tower last hit. 4,400 gold, Mott.
He's getting very, very close. He's got enough for the Relic and almost enough for the recipe. And that Radiance is good, but it's not enough. If they've lost all of their outer towers, then even with the Radiance, you still might be in trouble.
As Loda went for the point booster, he goes back for a staff and a belt, so it looks like he wants a Necrobook here.
I actually like that kind of a lot, but...
The Necrobook is the better item for ending the game now, but if it goes longer, it delays the Ags, which delays your... And that means you have less ability to deal with the Naga illusions. Oh, Courier getting caught. It's got the Relic. Loda with the Pugna. Courier's died. Oh my goodness.
He's pretty happy about that. He knows
what's
on
the last time you saw Pugna snipe a Courier?
I don't think ever. That took him 3 right clicks, but because he's got such range, he's able to do so. Yeah, going back for the Necro, by the way, it's kind of interesting because with Fly with his Illuminate, could take it down low, and it might just die to like the tower or something, but...
What is happening in this game, Mott?
There's a Pugna. What's happening in any game with a Pugna? I don't know.
There's a Pugna sniping Couriers.
Like, Pugna? It's working, kind of, at this point. 15 minutes in, yeah, they have only 3,000 net worth lead. It's a lot of poke and prod. They really need to take down some of these towers, and it's tough for them to do so because of the Illuminate. Just like Fly is doing his damnedest. Like, there's been no real fighting. Like, there's been one Ravage. It's killed one hero. Moon has been, again, like AFK juggling this entire game.
OG are trying to give Alliance the Alliance treatment. They're just dodging fights, split pushing, turtling for late game with Keeper of the Light. Alliance outmaneuvering them. They're going to get the bottom tier 2. That leaves only one tower outside the OG base.
A pretty important one. That mid tower is pretty important. South, though.
They're going to have a very difficult time projecting force towards the Roshan pit as S4 moves in.
He's invis. He's got his Aghanim Scepter. Notel is sitting nearby with his illusions.
So Notel has Radiance. It's going to be an extra minute and a half from now before he actually can use it.
They just need to... S4 wants to clear up the illusions and try to get this kill on Notel. He needs kind of some help, though. He's the only one here, as everyone else is mid for Alliance. I don't think he can get this kill with a TP, maybe. Is the Star
for the quadruple.
Oh, he did get it. Are you kidding? My God. That item is so ridiculous.
What did Marana lose? I think she lost 1 game yesterday, right?
I think so.
I believe that's what Paul said. Oh. Meanwhile, Miracle gonna find Ake, picks him up quickly, then Moon, looking for S4, the follow-up there from Crit, no more Smoke Cloud though.
The Starstorm, Crit has to Fairy Fire and heal back up, and EGM is going to work on Moon. Arrow coming through, can't find anything, and they'll actually go to work. The call is gonna be for Moon, but he's still taking a Shadow Wave. He's gonna be carrier, the jump back at the Starstorm, and it's not gonna be enough. The raindrop almost saves his life, but still, S4 will get the kill. Avalanche and Admiral Bulldog, so they doesn't get off that Ravage or further chase anymore, but instead they still get 2 kills. One huge one on the Naga Siren, which was ridiculous, but nice plays from Alliance there.
Big picks for Alliance, and now the Necrobook online for Loda. But you're running a draft that I would say wants to end the game by 25 to 30 minutes, or at least have 1 lane of racks by 25, ideally end the game by like 30 to 35. You have to threaten a tower on the high ground. You're only up by 4,000 gold. OG still holding on here. Alliance are not out of the woods just yet. Man, they need to take racks in the next 5 days. This could be one of the
shortest series we've seen. We saw the LGD OG series was 2 hours or almost that amount of time. This series might be like 30 minutes total. And they get that tier 2 mid, which is so good. And yeah, Notel dying there. I mean, he's got Arcanes, he's got Radiance, but that's not quite enough yet. But they want to go anyways with Crit, with Moon, and Notel.
Looking to smoke while the Radiance pickup is yet to be revealed.
Loda's alone.
He has not turned it off, though. though.
They have
Oh, he just did as he passed the creep wave.
They had vision with an observer ward on the high ground, but Loda's going to run into his own jungle now, and they're not chasing with no tail. He's just going to work with the illusions.
Yeah, he toggles the radiance on, drops the illusions, so that Alliance should certainly know about the Naga radiance by now. It's going to be a while before Naga's an impact hero, if she even is. Murana with an Eggs this early and a Blink Dagger can just crush the illusion army.
Yeah, we saw what he did already.
To the real hero, yeah.
Like,
so it's still a ways off from him having an impact.
When No Tail dies there to that Murana, he's probably just like, man, Ags Murana, are you serious? Quadruple Starstorm? Come on.
Just hearing the word quadruple in almost any context in Dota always sounds ridiculous. Let alone when it's from one hero.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love that Aghanim Scepter upgrade. The amount of damage it pumps out is kind of crazy, but it's really good right now, and it's why we see it getting picked so much and banned so much in a lot of these games. And with it, like you said, it deals with the illusions, but for now, they're going to group up. They have Necro 2 ready to go. They could wait for Necro 3 for Loda, but I think they just want to go and try to push this high ground. But here comes Fly with the Illuminate. They'd like to bring him down with a blinker of some kind or some sort of initiation, but...
Something interesting to note here, Maud, is that Alliance, although they have all this map control, they are not trying to go for Roche first. They're just trying to break the base right now.
Yeah.
I will have to see if it ends up costing them, but it could be the difference maker.
These Illuminates. Now the song will come through. There's 3 kind of in good form here for an Avalanche if they want to go for it, but it looks
Moon
like
is at the fountain, though. They don't have their axe for this.
There's a Ravage on No Tail coming in. There's a toss back from Miracle to make sure No Tail stays alive. Call on to 2 coming out. Bulldog's bow, and there's the calling blade for 1. Can he get 2? The second one? Yes, there it is. A double for Moon. They've stopped the push now in its tracks. S4 was looking for that Starstorm, and now gets tossed up and will get brought down. Crit's last right click with the backstab from the Tricks of the Trade.
He's almost got Diffusal Blade. Pugna is going to become a delicious snack for Crit very soon. Pushing sub 20 minutes into that lineup without an Aegis. Oof. And the crazy thing is Axe wasn't even there. Like, it didn't even look like that good of a setup. They song, Axe is at the fountain. The Ravage only hit 1, which was pretty bad for Alliance, and then Moon managed to get into the fight. Nice play, individual play by Miracle there too, with the blink toss back, helping to save his ally. But you could just see how scary OG are defending high ground, and that entire lead that Alliance have worked all game to cobble together on in a single push.
And that's the dangerous part about this, and like you talked about without the Aegis, it felt like Bulldog kind of forced that Ravage.
You can understand why they wouldn't go for it, right? Because they're not a very good Roshan team. They have Gush and they have Untouchable, but they lack physical damage.
They have no physical damage, really. I mean,
maybe more an issue with the draft than with the decision-making, but it does highlight a weakness of it, that it's a lineup that wants to end the game early that isn't very good at taking Rosh.
And the one thing I am kind of concerned about for OG is that they did lose No Tail there in the beginning stages of that fight. Actually, it might have been later on down the road. I don't know. I can't remember where he died in that engagement. He still is okay, though, in net worth. He's second right now to only S4's Murana. So No Tail is becoming that next factor for OG and getting to that point. God, I think the Coddle pickup and the Axe pickup were really good.
Well, you knew they were picking, though. That was their first 2, so...
Yeah.
It's by no means that Alliance get ambushed. They go into the Pugna with clear eyes, open eyes, knowing that they will have to struggle with a very strong turtle draft while trying to end the game early. So now, I guess the question is, what do Alliance do? Do they try to transition into late game here? Do they regroup and just go for another death push? Because I think, honestly, that wasn't even OG in their scariest form. Imagine Song into call with a cloud on top of the song so you can't counterplay it, and then the Avalanche Toss Illuminate hit you and Riptide Radiance damage all the while. That's if they get the proper combo. So I don't know what Alliance can do. I don't think they can push right now, but I don't really think they want to drag the game out.
You can't drag the game out because then you're just going to lose. You don't have any real late game other than S4's Murana, which is pretty good. Maybe double Ravage. Ake can dish out a lot of damage, but Loda has been encroached upon. No Tail, as well as Crit and Moon, are getting ready. They're looking for the Blink. The Ensnare will go, and Loda's in some trouble as the Blink Strike is going to come next.
And the Diffusal Blade's revealed, but the counterplay comes. Ravage there. The song lets them disengage. The TP's out. 1, 2, and 3. They all go home with the Ravage down. Alliance will have to wait over 2 minutes before they can even think about an offensive maneuver.
And the Dazzle dodge mid-ball that was happening with both, I think, the Tiny and Coddle helping getting the kill. As Miracle now has a Shadow Blade, and he's looking for more. Shadow Blade and Blink, so he's got a lot of mobility. There's no sentries down on the deck here for Alliance. Don't think they saw him Shadow Blade it up, and so they can find a kill here, potentially behind this tower.
It's a pretty cool way to burst the Enchantress where... I think actually his Avalanche Toss and one right click would kill her anyway, but it, you know, you eventually get the Silver Edge. Here we go, Avalanche Toss, and chop.
Yeah, the Colin Blade.
This is, the wheels are coming off for this line strap. Just the mid-courier might get sniped by crit.
He saw
just
it.
a bit late.
He can't go underneath that tier 2 tower. He'll have to back up, and Bulldog will TP in. Ravage was using that last engagement. This is go time for OG. They're looking. They've seen Bulldog, I believe. At least I thought they did.
Everyone on OG is just running around invis looking for free frags. Loda will be the next choice. Avatar, spin and dead, chopped down. Now onto S4. He wants back into the cloud, but they will disengage. No mana here on Moon, so they can't get off another chop.
Crit was doing enough damage, so he had to back away. Moon trying to TP. I don't think he's going to be... Yeah, he won't be successful as the Shadow Wave comes out with the Anchor Smash. More than enough damage there, so Moon does go down. They get the kill on Loda, but now
S4's dead if he doesn't juke this one, and he doesn't. These heroes are just feeling awful squishy right now, Mod.
Yeah. And Fly has an Aghanim Scepter, so now it's daytime. And they're finding another one. EGM, he's got Grave, might have to use it. Poison Touch and a Miracle. His Shadow Blade was just used. Blink is up in 3, although the Poison Touch damage is still there. Another hero coming in is going to be Bulldog again with no Ravage still for another 40 seconds. But
now it's Crit's turn to run back in. It's starting to feel like a pub with OG just running in one by one, just finding kills. But Crit forces disengage into Tricks of the Trade. He blinks out to Miracle. Get me out of here, buddy. And he tosses him directly up and down.
It's like, oh, he's going to toss him away. But
that would have been way sicker if he tossed him back to Fly, but I don't think he was in range.
This tower's been at 30% HP the last 3 minutes. Illuminate misses. Miracle goes in. The life drain immediately canceled as he walks out. There's the Lothar's coming out as well. No tail. He uses the song Illuminate because of that is now going to be wasted and
by the way, Fly has an Axe.
Yep.
So everyone on OG getting farm here. Their supports heavily outfarming the Alliance supports. Their cores outfarming the Alliance cores. It's looking extremely bleak for Alliance. They need to outplay OG very hard.
It's like they have this idea with, you know, you said S4 mid and he did a great job, but the rest of the time they spent so much time pushing these lanes, and a lot of the time they took forever to take these towers too. And it just is enough time for everyone to get that farm. Even Miracle, who had a very rough early game. Moon, of course, getting the Blink Dagger. He's kind of slowed down a little bit.
This is like a last ditch push, I think, Vaughn. If they fail here, I think Alliance is going to GG out.
Maybe, I don't know. I think S4 might be able to do enough. I'm not sure.
Son is on cooldown for 1 minute.
That's the biggest thing. It's 60 seconds. Glyph will go, but the Illuminate is going to be another bit of an issue here. And Alliance just back up, regroup, wait for the next creep wave. Call in. Bulldog will get pulled towards that tier 3 tower and Rags.
That's a very tanky Tide Pipe and Mech.
They don't have nearly enough damage to deal with him right now. Miracle comes in and Loda gets caught by the Shadow Blade. Good mech in time though. Impetus will go to work. The Starstorm of Miracle stays alive. Crit looking to clean up, but nobody's low enough at this point. Now he's going to go into Diffusal Blade, force out. Moonlight Shadow. Creep onto Moon to make sure he can't jump in and look for a call.
Look at No-Tail with one illusion in each lane, cutting all the waves, preventing Alliance from having round 2 of the push. Push is over, folks.
The rats are getting ratted at this point.
Naga is in the house, and perhaps the original, well, not the original Rat King, that has to go to Nature's Prophet, but the Rat Queen has emerged from her lair, and not to the liking of Alliance.
We were talking about how they needed to get the game done before Naga got to a certain point. She just got her Mantis style not too long ago, and
they still don't have an Ags on Loda as well, so it's only Mirana who can kill illusions reliably.
He's getting there. He's actually 1,000 away from Zags. Then picked up by the Naga Siren, so yeah, I mean, now they're the ones pushing back Alliance. The Alliance are on their side of the river and will continue to be for a period of time. They have to push out all of these waves as, again, was like you said, the creep wave was cut by the Naga Siren, and oh, there's a smoke. Moon is looking for S4. That is a huge pickup if they can find it. There's the mana drain. If he leaps away, it will lose a lot of his mana, but not nearly enough. There's the life drain.
Miracle's coming, though.
And Miracle just gets the combo off. He is done. S4 down for 60. And here comes Crit.
Onto the fight, onto EGM, brings him down as well. Bulldog just gets ensnared, ignored, and now they're going to come back for him. Prepping with the song. They've got a call, a chop ready, a cloud in 2 seconds. I don't even think he gets a Ravage off and Crit times this correctly. The Purge doesn't actually use a Diffusal Blade charge there, so they do get off the Ravage. It's onto 4. No-Tail's going to drop. Can Alliance turn this?
Good buyback coming out from S4. He came in with a Starstorm. Crit's coming, looking for that gem. does pick it up in time, but they have vision.
Oh, and these heals from Fly on the back lines, keeping the frontliners, but not long enough.
Gem is now down in the deck. It's actually 2 gems, one on Bulldog, the other, I believe, on Dota, and they will lose 2 with that buyback from S4, which is a lot of money. Might lose Fly, the impetus, oh, the blinding light, but the arrow, oh my lord, that was so close. God.
Pretty sure that was some wizardry right there. Arrow piercing flank of his horse, but he still TP's out.
Yeah, that's not a great fight for OG at the second end. It started out really well. Still, they're fine. They haven't lost much net worth after that engagement. It is going to be plateaued a little bit, but S4 was forced to buy back, which was the most important thing. Like, he was, you know, sitting at, I think, about 2,000 gold after that, before that fight, but no tail he was in a Loda.
I really thought they were going to be able to kill the Tide there. Cloud into call. Seems like an easy kill, but bottom lane, No Tail being hounded a bit here. Aki's gonna corner him.
There's so many heroes that he does not have song. No Tail respawns only to die and be down for another 56 seconds.
That is costly, Mod. They're at Roche. They have a creep army. They have the Necros out. They can walk into the pit, take the Aegis.
Well, they have a medallion too as well. I'll mention the next.
Oh boy.
So the replay, they're looking for the arrow on Fly, and he's just like, I'll TP. Blinding light first. Arrow, oh, it was so close.
It actually crosses his model, but like just barely, right? It looked like, right, as he TP's out. So at the final hour, Gandalf escapes to fight another day, but Alliance still getting the much more important kill here. Bringing down the Naga, walking to the Roshan pit. This may give them a fresh breath of air. It's still an OG lead, but Loda has an Aghs now, so they can deal with Naga illusion spam much more easily. On top of that, they already have the Mirana. This one ain't over yet.
No, the Mirana can start going in a bit more aggressively now because of the Aegis. I think she's building into a BKB. She's an Ogre Club, and usually you see that Shiva's Guard or Ethereal Blade coming out for a Mirana after that, but it looks like she's going to be aggressively playing with that BKB. And with Life Drain to help her out as well from Loda if she goes in a little too far.
That's where you really need to spread your illusions. Pugna can instantly kill them, but they don't have to be all grouped up in one location, and Pugna is not the most mobile hero. Same for Mirana. She's a lot more mobile, but she can't be everywhere at once. So there's definitely still a lot of use for the Naga, especially with Keeper of the Light to move her around. But in a head-on fight, OG, they're gonna need damage from elsewhere. That's where Miracle comes in. Has picked up the Aghanim Scepter on the Tiny. It's gonna be their main reliable source of physical damage going later into the game. Then they'll need Alliance creep forward. It's Miracle out in front.
Vision. Oh wow, Miracle just comes in and kills EGM instantly. Alright, now your Dazzle's dead. So that's unfortunate. And
I like how he just blinks out, doesn't even look back. I know you're dead.
Got him real quick. There was no mech use there. It happened so quickly too. They have to back up now. They just have to deal with the creep wave. The tier 2 tower bottom, very low. Moon is staying top waiting for anybody to come in and still pushing his creep wave. They do enchant the Nagasara and Illusion, which they'll start doing more as the game progresses.
Yeah, it's another tool they have to deal with the illusion spam, but you can still see the lanes largely going against them. Is Loda top lane, gonna get caught.
There's the call, they have the damage, they have the chop as well, and Moon will provide the kill with the Calling Blade coming through. So Loda's dead for 53. He just bought that Aghanim Scepter, and this creep wave is dangerously close to the tier 3 tower, but they won't be able to go any further. It looks like they're going to go to the tier 2 tower mid instead, going for that high ground push this early on.
Yeah, they don't know he doesn't have buyback. I also don't think OG feel like they're on a clock by any means. With a tiny, sure, the Naga illusions might be something you can deal with, but you also have a Tiny. You've got a support that can be a decent damage dealer later on in the game in the Riki, especially having a Diffusal Blade. And you have X, who's a reliable source of lockdown.
Where's he going? X is in the base.
Just tired of this world.
He's just going further and further into the base. He's like literally waiting for Loda to come out and respawn, and then he's gonna kill him, I think. Is actually what he's waiting for.
I don't think he could solo kill Loda.
No, I don't think so, but that's what I would expect him to do. Oh, there's a gem. Maybe he's going for the gem that was put down on the steps. Oh
but
my
they have
god.
No vision of it.
They don't, but if he walks in and he should see it.
How did he know?
No way.
How does he know?
Seriously gonna go for this?
Then
Oh my god, he's actually going to get it.
Moon is actually a god.
I can't believe he
Holy
just did
crap.
that. That's insane.
Never ever doubt this man.
That's okay. Well, all right.
That just happened.
Good work, Moon. Get the gem back and give it to your
Yeah,
team.
we're gonna need to inspect the files on Moon's computer after this game.
It's like, how do you know? Like, he didn't know it was on the steps. They actually put it on the steps instead of on the courier, but what are you gonna
Still,
do?
when did they have vision on the steps?
I don't think they did. I think they just thought, what? They don't even have it on them. Where did they put it? It's coming on the courier?
Probably on the courier now.
Nope, it's in the base.
Is under attack.
That's just a moral victory, even if OG lose this game. Meanwhile, top lane, Miracle with the split push, banging away on
He had a
towers.
DD rune. He's still in trouble. They have
another gem, and
they
it's
do.
on Bulldog. Ravage also ready. They really want this Miracle kill. Will they find it? Decrepify comes through.
Yeah, they're going to get him, I think. Life Drain will bring him down. The arrow comes through it. S4 is able to get the last hit with the arrow, with said arrow. And yeah, he got the tier 3 tower, but he couldn't blink out in time. So good rotations from Alliance to get at least that kill.
I've never seen anyone do that. I mean, we've seen like courier snipes, but you see the courier going back to the base, right? So you can kind of time it if it just moves in a straight line. Like,
Right.
it's going to be, you know, behind the tier 3 towers at this time, like 10 seconds from now or whatever the case might be. But a lot of teams keep that second gem in the stash. It's not always on the steps, so
That's
or
where I
on a
thought they would
hero.
Put it.
Yeah.
And you can't grab it if that's it.
You know what it reminds me of is back when Tinker players, you know, they used to drop all their items in fountain so they could regen more quickly. We would see, like, sometimes they put them in the fountain, and then, I forget who it was, someone got all their items sniped, and so after that they always dropped items in stash, but so this is a next level play by Moon.
Moon is still up here. They're pushing mid, and Moon's like, I can just go for this. Miracle has yet to respawn. He's still dead for 13 seconds. Arrow's going to come in, and there's the song. And Crit's here as well. This is the setup now, LD. We'll see what they can do with this.
Saw him to start. What's going to follow? There's an illusion mid, farther back, cutting the wave. OG dropping the cloud, but Alliance have gotten onto high ground here.
They were just trying to wait for
There's the call. It's a good one, Mott. Is it good enough?
Blinding Light will go, trying to push them back. Moon taking impetus hits, and S4's going to come in. There's that BKB. No more ages, but they will push them back, and they'll get the range rack. The Illuminate coming through will do a lot of damage. The Guardian Group's up and snaring to S4. BKB about to go down as well. That 10-second charge is done. There's the Moonlight Shadow. Where's the vision for OG? They have the gem on No Tail, and that melee rack Bulldog wants to walk in. Ravage is still available.
But Miracle, as he jumps in, he doesn't have a toss, he decides to back away, the life drain brings him low, he's almost dead, he's got to go home. And Alliance, moving into position, looking for this Rax, they need to focus the target down. Bulldog out of mana for now, he just barely has Ravage mana, but it's burnt away again.
Grid coming out, another Illuminate, and it looks like they might get this melee Rax here. S4 comes in looking for a Starstorm, doesn't hit anybody, and they're going to be able to force back Bulldog. No Tail, still no more song for another 25 seconds. It's level 2, he's not quite at level 16, he would have had it.
And while that was happening, OG did get their lane of Rax top, so
Oh god.
it is a trade for them. But even trading at this stage, Alliance have to be fairly happy with that. Round 2 is going to come though. They have a song ready soon, Crit scouting things out.
Screen S4 cannot afford to go down here. There's the call as well, and the toss back. S4 is still alive for the time being. Now they get off, they can miss the calling blade, and S4 will stay alive with the grave.
Rims out, but a fresh battle hunger and a blink from Crit secures it. Now they look for more. The song comes through, connects on 2. Then a blink call to drag Loda away from the fight. Will the follow-up be there?
Okay, walked into the song. The toss up, EGM slows, still silenced up. Now alive and use that grave, but it's on cooldown for another 10 seconds. Crit still. Now the Ravage comes through. It'll hit onto 3. The Illuminate trying to heal Miracle, but it's still nighttime. Impetus hit long range does enough damage from Ake downtown, and Moon will get caught as well. Look at that rage coming out from the Impetus Dragon Lance. Destroys 2, including Miracle and Moon.
Doesn't even have an Axe, just a Dragon Lance on the Enchantress. Just like that, OG, despite the 10k gold lead, it's not a comfortable one, Mott. It's a 1-to-1 lane of Rax game. 2 lanes remaining now for both teams. A solitary tier 2 standing with 150 HP bottom for Alliance. So it's still a game in their grasp, but you have to worry as Naga did not have the level 3 song. She's about to get it. And if she had the level 3 song, I think it's a very different fight.
Yeah, oh, for sure. That Song would have come as they're leaving the base instead of like right out in the middle of the lane,
Dire's middle
kind of
tower
where it
is under
happened.
attack.
You catch them when they're more clumped up. When
Yeah.
you have to chase them like that, Alliance have a chance to spread out.
Yes.
So this is a fight where Ake did insane damage. 2 one-shots, killing fleeing heroes.
They thought they were going to get away from the impetus, but the last right click came through, and then as they see the javelin flying through the air, they're like, well, I'm probably dead. There's no heals coming up because it's nighttime for the Keeper of the Light. If they had the daytime from the Illuminate, it might have been enough, but it's just still very tenuous right now between both of these teams. The Rax top going down, which I was surprised to have that happen to begin with, and it took so much for Alliance to get that Rax mid to begin with. A lot of it coming out from S4, providing a lot of, I guess, pushback with Starstorm.
That is kind of the backup plan OG always have, is just ratting it out with the Tiny, with the Naga and the Keeper of the Light. The Keeper of the Light to stall or to drag heroes around the map. Whereas for Alliance, they aren't really much of a rat lineup. They pretty much have to, you know, face rush buildings, beat their head against those walls, and hope they fall.
Bulldog in the top or bottom lane, excuse me, was getting... They saw Miracle. He's going to back up. Miracle has a Mithril Hammer for what I imagine to be... Actually...
Bottom lane, they're moving on Miracle.
It's out in time. He's got a Shadow Blade as well. He just used it. Crit. Smoke screens, and then they don't go for him. They don't know that Crit's still there, I think, at this point.
And OG moves on the top side of the map, as we can see a Naga illusion there, one
really
heading towards mid.
They need this tier 2, and it's about to fall. 20 HP. Avalanche toss. Loda takes a bit of damage with the Riptide on top. Now the life drain comes out, like you talked about with that. No cooldown. You can kill all of those illusions very quickly. For now, that's going to be it.
Yeah, you got to find him, though. Loda's got his work cut out for them, and tier 4 towers starting to take significant damage here, Mod. Bottom lane, they make their move, they try to find a pick-off,
So
but it's Fight Hunter, and that is not happening.
Guardian Greaves popped, and
It's
pipe. There's just
almost
no way.
laughable. Bulldog chuckles.
They need a lot more heroes to be able to kill him, I think.
The lanes are still pushing heavily against Alliance, and so the issue now for them is they pretty much have to kill Naga. They won't be able to push the lanes out. And then they still have to get all the way to the OG base in time to deal damage to structure. So it's not going to be easy. It's Miracle goes for the tower last hit. He will be denied by Bulldog lulling his way to the bank, but it's still a tower dropping in OG's favor. Gold would be a nice bonus, but key here is just killing buildings, paving the way for those tier 3s.
When No-Tail got that Octarine core, this game got a lot harder. It is a double Ravage now for Bulldog, so if they ever do get into a good fight, double Ravage might actually be able to turn this around enough to where they can get plenty of kills. But there's a BKB now, as I talk about, for Miracle. Like, it's flying out as we speak, so double Ravage might not affect him. This is very, very tough, I think, for Alliance to be able to get out of their base, but if they can...
They're not out of it. They can still win. It requires mistakes from OG. It requires really good execution by Alliance. I think OG have the easier to execute lineup because you have just the Naga reset with the 45-second cooldown on Song, whereas Ravage is a huge cooldown, and if you mess it up, you're just not going to be able to fight for a long time. And OG can choose where the fights happen more easily because of the Naga. But all that said, it is still possible for Alliance here, and this is a team that's known for miraculous turns of events. As Ake gets caught by the Avatar, can't be brought down.
And now he's getting chased down as well. As here comes S4, Decrep, BKB, and Starstorm will miss. And No-Tail is busy pushing it to the top, but while this is all happening, he's saying, listen, you don't have any more tier 2 towers. I can just put in my illusions and start going to work. The life drain will help out in that regard, but every time they go out of the base, they have to come back in and try to defend against these Naga illusions every single time.
See Miracle constantly blinking in and harassing heroes, trying to drag Alliance around while No-Tail just free farms all over their side of the map. So it seems like OG are mostly playing the stall game here more than anything else.
Are they really trying to go for Bulldog again?
No, it just seems like they want to pressure as opposed to like actually commit for kills. But
yeah, he just walks around and does a...
Miracle gonna get caught out. He doesn't have the BKB this time. Bulldog's on the chase.
He's the one with the gem, but they're not going any further. S4 thought about it, used his leap, using the Starstorm, but he can't find that kill. And No-Tail, again, just continues to throw illusions to the base. This time he'll finally bots home, get mana that he needs. Maybe another item.
Good news for Alliance. No-Tail is running out of inventory slots.
6 slots is coming soon. He can deal with that somehow. He gets a BKB, actually. They might want to just fight with a BKB now picked up. I don't see why...
BKB Naga.
That's like the only reason I
It's all magic damage on Alliance. It's Mirana, Starfalls, Pugna Life Drain, and Tidehunter Ravage, I guess. Like, it's pretty much all magic damage aside from the imp, so... Seems like No-Tail wants to be able to guarantee he gets his song off, and also just to be able to frontline a bit better. But that is definitely an uncommon Naga pick.
I don't know where we go from here for Alliance today. I mean, Miracle continues to do this. If he makes a mistake like now, but they just
Moon
chop
TP's
down
in,
the
just
TP.
chops the creep.
Yeah.
Skirts away, but this leaves Miracle out his chomping buddy. Meanwhile, Naga Illusions just creeping in mid, creeping in bottom,
No-Tail's
creeping
kind
in
of far
everywhere.
away from everywhere. EGM was TPing out, was able to get away in time. Bottom lane was getting pushed in. Tier 3 tower taking a bit of damage. Here comes the rest of the team.
Moving out of Bulldog, there's the net, and I don't know that they want to go. They're trying to bait out a Ravage. It's not going to happen.
Oh, that impetus is going to hurt. All right, maybe not that bad.
I just have to say, Wepis has his work cut out the rest of this game.
I don't know where you look, honestly, because you
got to look everywhere. Bottom lane now, EGM getting pursued. Meanwhile, mid, they're still chasing. Illuminate keeping the waves back. Top lane, S4 pushing that lane out. OG are pulling Alliance all over the map.
It's actually nuts. This game turned in from a 17-minute game with the push track coming into a 43-minute game where both teams are just trying their damnedest to get across the river. And OG have been successful in doing so. Alliance, this is the first time they've been past the river, or they were past the river for probably 10 minutes or so. It feels like it's been 10 minutes since they've passed the river.
I want to say if anyone can find their way out of a contain like this, it should be the team that invented it, the group of players that pioneered this style of play. But I don't even know if Alliance could do it, Mott.
Comes down to the heroes.
They have insurance policies on top of their insurance policies. There are so many ways for OG to dodge fights if they don't want to fight, to prevent a push if Alliance tries to group up, to push and counter push if Alliance does. Like, they can rat with the Tiny, they can cut ways with the Naga, the Keeper of the Light can drag them around, they can cancel TPs with the Shadowblade Tiny everywhere. You can't have a gem all over the map, it's only the Tide who carries one, so options are much more plentiful for OG is, I guess, the short way to put it.
Okay, well, here's the problem, though, for OG, and there is a problem. Even though they're keeping all of these waves pushed in, it's just the Naga that has all of this farm. If you look at the net worth chart, it's 26,000 for the Naga Tower, and the next closest person is 10,000 beneath the Naga for OG, and that's the Axe, which is right along the side of Miracle on the Tiny as well. So Miracle's Tiny, he doesn't do enough damage yet to actually be able to take down, say, a Tidehunter in a fight, or really any of these heroes, I feel like, from Alliance. So they kind of just have to keep split pushing until they have enough farm where they feel comfortable in going in.
Yeah, they are. You make a really good point that they are lacking a bit in single target burst. Tiny is decent for it, but the way he's itemized, getting a Blink Dagger and a Shadow Blade, so two pseudo mobility items, getting BOTs and buying a BKB. This is not like your pure right click Tiny. He doesn't have an IO to back him up. But eventually Miracle will get there. Eventually, that's going to be a Silver Edge, or he gets rid of that, or the Blink Dagger.
Right.
He can have a Moon Shards and another damage item. At that point, there's very few heroes that can withstand that burst, assuming he gets the combo.
I mean,
off.
if the game goes very late, then Crit gets to that same position as well. And Crit on a Riki. Riki's still a pretty good carry late game, all things considered. And he's got 2 Diffusal Blades.
Yeah, just wants the extra charges, I guess. Just upgrade it.
I don't know why I didn't upgrade it.
It does give you a lot of Agi.
Seems kind of strange.
I mean, Agi synergizes really well with Cloak and Dagger, so...
Yeah, I mean, that's...
I guess Crit thinking eventually I'm going to have to upgrade it anyway.
Yeah, that's... I mean, he can upgrade 2 this time now if he wants to upgrade them, so he gets even more charges. And I think the most important for the Riki at this point is the charges, so I guess it's not that crazy, but it's the first time I've seen that type of double diffusal type of build. Still, 3,500 for S4. He's picking up his Shivas next, and he is second in net worth currently.
Yeah, I mean, with full diffusal, he's going to have 9 charges now, and then he can upgrade them both, get another 16, so...
I think Oh,
he's already upgraded.
He's already upgraded.
All right.
Yeah,
This is
16 charges, and then another possible 8 with the second upgrade.
Oh, the other thing, I guess, is because it had the 0-second cooldown, now it's got a 2-second cooldown.
Oh,
so
you're right. Yeah, so you can use...
With this, you can use one, use the other while the first one's cooling down.
Are they not shared cooldowns? I wonder.
I don't think so. Not 100%
Interesting.
sure.
We're going to find out, I suppose.
Regardless, it gives you a ton of Agi, and eventually you are going to run into charge issues as the game goes later, so... It looks a little clowny at first, but I think it makes perfect sense. You're up against Pugna. Maybe Alliance get Ghost Scepters at some point. Like, just for Pugna alone, you need Diffusal.
Also, they're not UAMs anymore, so how does it decide which mana break to use, if not both of them? I wonder if it's stacked.
I'm not sure.
Like,
It should. I mean, I would think it should default to the bigger one.
yeah, I would agree. Anyway, we'll wait and see how that actually works. Mechanics.
You are plumbing the Mariana Trench of mechanics here.
I need to not ask these questions because...
Fortunately, we have Knoxville here. I'm sure he can find out in short order just how many games. Had a double diffusal blade as bottom lane. Miracle BOTs onto the creep wave instead of just jumping Bulldog, who immediately TPs out.
He realized he made a mistake, I think. I think there was like a keybind issue or something where he...
It seems like Miracle hit the wrong key
I'm pretty sure he just switched his blink and his boots of travel to different item slots. I'm almost positive he just did that.
That sucks.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, but
for Alliance, they breathe a sigh of relief. Still, like, as you point out, look where the creeps are. Alliance have to win two fights, I would say, at least, to get the waves all the way back to the OG base. And Naga can always just buy back.
Ooh, another pause. Right as they're about to maybe go for high ground. Probably not. Naga's top lane right now, so just sending more illusions in. Miracle's been scouted out by this Observer Ward, and the rest of Alliance are sitting around just deciding on what to do while they're pushing this wave out. We haven't seen it smoking, I think, in a fair bit of time. They have one on Ake if they want to go for it. And...
big game for both teams.
Yeah, this is really important.
It has ground to a halt, but the winner of this game will be 3-1 in the group. And especially for Alliance here, taking a game off OG puts them in quite decent position in the group.
Yeah.
For me, it's a bit more OG who needs to 2-0 this, but last 4 moving in. Trying to get out of the contain, but everywhere they turn, there's other OG heroes shoving the lanes back in.
46.
There is a Roshan in this game, by the way.
Yeah.
Neither team seems particularly interested in taking him.
Well, it's such a strange game where they know that 5v5 fighting is really not that important, and you just kind of have to hope you don't get picked off is really how it goes. I mean, OG should probably take Roche.
Roshan's a red herring.
I think OG have the ability to take Roche. Although if they do, Alliance will know that they're not pushing in as hard, and they probably know that the
Crit's waiting on the high ground though. Counting out Bulldog.
Moon has the jump as well with the blink dagger and call, but again, Alliance are backing up in their base, and Bulldog is the only one out of it. Finally, they'll walk out together. They move together, Alliance. Now with the Aghanim Scepter for Ake, so even more damage coming out from him. Bulldog will TP back. Right, bottom.
So the real question, Mott, is who's going to get hungry first? These teams did not have. I don't believe they had a break for lunch.
They were. I saw Alliance outside when we were out there. I don't know if they ate
well,
that.
I did not see OG come down. They have not eaten. They're getting hungry. So Alliance has the food advantage right now. At what point does the food advantage kick in?
I think you go a full day before you
start.
start.
Blood sugar levels running low.
You go a full day before you start really getting into that hunger situation, I'm pretty sure, when it's a game like this.
Moon makes a move. Blake call to start on the EGM. Quickly looking for the chop. Will he find it? Moon unable to get it off. Bulldog turns and he gets off initial Ravage, but has no mana to work with Mott.
Can't get off the second one. He doesn't even have enough for refresh. They finally
and mid lane, Miracle hitting tower. Song delaying the counterplay for now.
BKB is up for S4. Loda pops his. S4 is BKB is now down. No Tail backing away. The life drain doesn't do anything. He thought it might have been an illusion. They'll back up. Another creep wave coming in top. They'll have to do that. And when the dust is all settled, after that team fight with one Ravage expended and a couple of BKBs,
it was a scintillating back and forth bloodbath of a 0-kill fight.
No kills. Kills happening in this game. And S4 is going to walk up. Crit maybe looking for...
You know what they need to do is every time a hero hits a tower, there should be like a giant explosion that comes, like a kapow. Kabam!
That's what happens at 80 minutes,
Slap.
like 100 minutes when the game starts breaking.
Yeah, maybe we'll get those fireworks.
We'll see. At this point, maybe you go back to Roche for OG. Miracle now has his Hyperstone with, I think, a full... Nope, nothing coming out, just Hyperstone, casually.
It's not even saving for buyback. I'm very confident that even if he dies, he won't need to use it, which... Fair, he's probably right about.
Yeah, I think so. Finally, Alliance are walking up, though, out of the base a little bit. I mean, very, very patiently. Oh, it's a Hex picked up, by the way, from Mirana, so no Shiva's Guard.
Another way to deal with the illusions. A good counter to some extent to BKBs if it's with the instant disable. Some of the Alliance are lacking. They do not have any instant disables.
You can find the original Naga. Well, hold that thought. Bulldog gets called and brought back. Smoke screen on top as well as the ensnare, but he crack and chills it off pretty much immediately. Then the Gush comes through, trying to chase. Ravage is up and ready in 56. He can refresh it. The Diffusal Blade.
Are they going to do the same thing here? Do we just see that Song bottom into a push on mid? Miracle's waiting.
Have Song ready to go for no tail. Octarine Core still going. Illuminate doing some nice work, but not nearly enough damage. Force forward. They get the song off, and they're ready to get the call into 4 potentially.
OG, just immaculate play here. They'll take down the tower. They'll back out and get ready for it to happen all over again. Oh, as I say that, a Miracle does get caught, but Fly there to the rescue.
Shadow Blade's away more than fast enough. Bulldog down bottom looking for a potential Ravage.
And the Miracle looking to push back in with the Shadow Blade, just constantly pulling Alliance apart at the seams. Now hitting the range racks as they chase south. Even if they get these kills, Miracle's the one hitting buildings. BKB committed, brings down the range rack. Still, the fight raging on south. S4 forced the TP home.
Oh, what a double call from Moon to keep them inside this bottom lane. Still, they've TP'd home. No-Tail pops the BKB to get out. The Life Tree not doing anything. S4 coming in with the Starstorm ready to go. As soon as that BKB is down, maybe an arrow back down bottom. Moon's still going to work. Bulldog pops the Ravage, and
really?
He's going to work.
Just on Moon? Moon's like, seriously, man? Are you going to do me like that? But...
okay. He got the kill chopped. No, he doesn't have the mana, but he has to use his right click, which is super slow.
And in the
Song
mid lane.
goes out again. S4 gets off the BKB in time. Deep arrows there. There's the toss out, but they get off the great from EGM, who's caught in the smoke screen.
Trick to clean up, though. He might get 2, maybe 3 here. Tricks of the trade. No, EGM getting hit the hell out of there as the chase goes on to Loda. Miracle gonna beat him down. Tiny with the big stick going to work, and Loda will fall. That's 1.5 lanes. Buybacks aplenty. Likely to be coming out here. There are 8 on the field. One of them gets committed now. Enchantress and Pugna back in the fight. They're down a Ravage Alliance are. They might be able to force the Naga to buy back, but already Miracle just sweeping in mid again and again, threatening with these deep journeys towards the Alliance base.
The Hex, the Starstorm arrows missing. Now the Gush BKB TP should be able to get out. The impetus hits won't be enough, and Miracle will survive. The tier 4s, they lost one in the process of that engagement and a second, down to half HP. After 51 minutes, it finally explodes into what was almost a climax of a game, and 2 buybacks are forced out of LD. What is
If you
happening?
told me an OG Alliance game, oh, blink call, they move. Illuminate just stalling, I believe. Can he find the chop?
Oh, so close. Illuminate missed, and Aka was able to avoid it. The calling play might have been there.
He didn't get the blade mail off there, Mott. For Moon.
Tossed back from Miracle. To say it will do some damage, but he's able to get out of range for any more damage from
And
Ake.
already No-Tail says, all right, let's cool it down a little bit. I'm going to TP bottom, stream some illusions in mid and bottom lane. Alliance desperately pressing forward, but they're not going to have a wave to work with. Miracle just beating away at the melee. Couple of swipes, he's out of there.
S4's the only one there right now.
Say, screw it, man. We're just going down mid.
They can cancel TPs. Blink calls on the 3. EGM calling play. Where is it? Moon gets one. Can he find Loda? Pops the BKB. The life drain will go. Force back up to the high ground.
And still in mid. Miracle goes to work. S4 with a timely BKB. Miracle gets to work with his own. He's just going to hit buildings for now. The melee about to fall. And back on the other side, Crit hops under Tricks of the Trade, stalling out Alliance as long as possible. 2 lanes down. Looking for the 3rd. The song TP from No-Tail covering the retreat. Miracle will make it out as well. The Rat Kings are being killed by rat tactics.
Moon was in there. He came in late. He said, where did everybody go? They all TP'd out before he got there. Miracle's back in. Back and forth, Miracle just going in with a couple of swipes at a time. And with a Moon Shard, it's very easy to take down buildings. Tier 4 tower gone. 2 sets of racks gone. Alliance hanging on for dear life. Finally, OG able to break the base at this point.
This has not been easy for OG, but credit where credit is due. It's been a scrappy showing through the mid game. Patiently, slowly, firmly accruing that advantage. Now they find themselves 1 lane of racks away from Mega Creeps. At that point, Alliance will not be leaving the base. And they could just very slowly roll in as Loda gets jumped, quickly dropping. No back, 90 seconds on the sideline spot. Now the call.
S4, BKB, he needs to pop it. Calling Blade, not there. It's going to miss as, of course, the Shadow Wave came through with a wand or some heal among that. Now they're going to song up and
hitting Bulldog, but really I think he should just be hitting buildings. There's the song on EGM, and Ake the call again, connecting. Dazzle going down. Ake could be next. This looks like the end for Alliance.
S4's coming in. He's going to get diffused up. He just blinked in, leaps out in time, but No-Tail wants to take him down, decides against it. They go for the throne, and that is it. GG called Alliance. They get 2-0'd by OG after what was a pretty good idea to go for the early game. OG outlasts Alliance in game number 2.
I feel like I just watched Magnus Carlsen play an immaculate match of chess. Like, every move, even if it wasn't perfect, they made it because they had the pieces to give away. Alliance had the extra buybacks, they had the extra lives to work with. Oh my goodness, though. They had to work for it. Alliance fought tooth, claw, and nail, but in the end, Mott, it just wasn't enough. Where do you think this leaves Alliance moving forward? To you, is this a team that will be taking games